seated. Good morning, everyone. Are the executive already here? Are there any issues to raise before we get started? Okay, thank you very much. To start with, a few weeks ago, the court received a written report from citizens who accusing the executive trying to influence the court decisions for illegal business satisfaction in managing country. So we would like to try to solve these issues appropriately in this evening with cooperation between these two sides. As well as we want to hear the both reasons from both sides. Should the one of the citizens represent themselves in front of here first? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rebecca, and I will be representing as a citizen. So first off, I would like to say that currently the executive, they have been doing suspicious behavior regarding on trying to interfere with court decisions. So I am completely against this behavior since the government, they will use their power and abuse them to take over the court decisions. We want fairness in our judiciary. So say that the government, they did manage to influence court decision. Let's say you imagine a corruption case where the executives were leading about the case, and all because of the judges, they were appointed through political pressure. We citizens mostly depend our rights on the court so that they can protect it. So when this happens, how can we fully trust the court now that the government is taking over the court decisions?
Alright, that was affirmative. Is there any reason from the other citizens?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Dale, and I am also representative of citizens. As Malaysians, we believe in fairness and justice. The judiciary helps protect people's rights and make sure everyone is treated equally under the law. If politics affects judicial appointments, people may lose trust in the courts, and independent judiciary helps maintain public confidence and supports democracy. Therefore, judicial independence must always be protected. Today's discussion shows that democracy is not just about elections, but also about fairness and accountability. The judiciary must be free from political influence so it can make fair decisions. An independent judiciary protects the rights of citizens and strengthens trust in the law. Democracy can only remain strong when the judiciary stays independent.
Thank you for the citizen answer. What about the executive branch reasons to raise in this session?
Your Honor, I am the President of Ministry of Home Affairs, and with all due respect, the Prime Minister's advisory role in judicial appointments is clearly provided for under the Federal Constitutions. The executive branch is not acting outside the law, but rather carrying out its constitutional responsibility. The Malaysian system of government is built upon cooperation between branches of power. The involvement of the executive in recommending qualified candidates helps ensure that the appointments are made efficiently and that vacancies in important judicial positions do not remain unresolved for extended periods. Without a proper appointment process involving all relevant politics, delays may occur, affecting the administration of justice and public confidence in the legal system. Therefore, the executive's role should be viewed as a constitutional mechanism designed to support governance rather than undermine the judiciary. We respect the judiciary's commitment to independence, but we believe that constitutional procedures must also be recognized and upheld in order to preserve balance within our democratic systems. That is all from me. I will pass to my executive.
I am the Deputy of Ministry of Home Affairs. Your Honor, we fully respect the independence of the judiciary. However, we also have a responsibility to ensure that the governance continues efficiently. In this situation, the corruption case has been delayed for so many years and public confidence is gradually decreasing. Your Honor, with all due respect, when important cases remain unresolved for so long, the government operations will become affected and people will begin questioning whether justice is actually functioning or not. Your Honor, would it not also be harmful if justice becomes so delayed that the citizen lose its trust both in the courts and the government? As you all may know, we have seen situations where vacancies and delays weaken the judicial process. However, we recognize that there must be limits. If the executive starts pressuring judges to rule in favor of the government selecting outcomes, or interfering with legal reasoning, for surely will cross a constitutional boundaries and become an abuse of power. So in this case, if our action is only requesting faster handling for public interest purposes, then it would be acceptable. But if our action attempts to influence the final verdict, then we agree that it would be a violation of separation of powers. Democracy is protected not only when institutions are independent, but also when each branch respects where its authority ends. That's all from me. Thank you.
That was quite sensitive to hear on. We will have discussion by reading and listing all the issues properly, and we will explain to you who is offenses in this court in this evening. After I listen carefully to both sides, we decide to stand for the citizens. Let me tell you the reason why we stand for the citizens. First and foremost, as the executive tries to influence court decisions by convincing and supporting the court passively to ensure the appointments are being made. Why didn't you ask the election commission or any other related commission to manage your democracy process? And regarding empowering the faster proceeding and prioritizing process, because the judiciaries are completely independent branches that could not be abused or contributed by any other powers. Secondly, the executive should only implement the rules, and the executive works with cooperation and commands against legislative based on the separation of powers, while the judiciary are completely independent, whereas we just realized that executive is also trying to corrupt and protest the democracy of citizens in the name of court. However, the executive can be sentenced for the contempt of court decision. In the final verdict, the court will be sided with the citizen. Therefore, the court session is dismissed and the case is closed. Thank you very much, everyone.
Your Honor, why is the judicial independence important in this situation?
In my opinion, the judicial independence are important for our court system because it can avoid or prevent the misuse of power and corruption in our system, basically based on the separation of powers, so that the system are clearly conducted properly and efficiently in our system.
Your Honor, I have another question. Do these appointment concerns affect public trust?
Yes, this appointment concerns on public trust because it may impose the feelings and the behavior of the citizens due to the interference of the government to ruin the fairness and the democracy rights of the citizens in Malaysia.
Okay, thank you.
President,
We have a question. Okay, many people argue that the executive branch has too much influence over judicial appointments. How do you respond?
Any responsibilities with the judicial appointments, and we are not involved in it, and we will not be getting our hands in it.
I have another question. Does this threaten the separation of powers?
No, it is way better off our hands anyway.
Thank you. Good evening. This is reporting live from the courthouse. Today we will be interviewing one of the citizens that are involved in this court case. So, Ms. Rebecca, I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on this issue?
We were worried that the executive have too much influence on judicial appointments. So if the judges, they're seen as political, citizens, they can lose trust easily on courts.
Okay. So another question for you, Ms. Rebecca. Do you think reforms are needed?
I would say that yes, reforms are needed because the process of court decision, they should be more transparent and based on merits. That way, democracy can stay strong and citizens, they can trust the courts even more.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rebecca, for sharing your views.